Welcome back to the Tractor Time with Tim Dream Shop build. The construction crew is here and the project is underway. If you're just joining us, we're building a large shop and office addition to our home. We're making a lot of progress on defining the interior, but today's video is focused on drilling these holes and getting the posts up. We've hired an Amish team to construct our building, and one of the reasons that I chose this team is that they said they would allow me to participate in the project and help where I could. They were planning to rent a skid steer and post auger, and for those of you that have been watching our channel for a long time, you know that we couldn't have that. So I signed up for this task. Unfortunately, I didn't have a 15-inch auger, nor did I have any way to drive a 15-inch auger. The largest driver I've got is the one we've used on Johnny 5. It's skid steer quick attach, and quite frankly, the 5075E just doesn't have enough oomph to drill a larger post hole. I first reached out to our friends at Mongo Attachments. They have an adapter to convert from our Mini X to a skid steer quick attach. It's great to hear that their business is doing really well, and they have such a backlog that it was impossible for them to build one in time for my project to use it. Turns out this was quite fortunate. I was introduced to Premier Attachments, another company right here in Indiana that uses Indiana-produced steel to make a broad range of skid steer, mini skid, and excavator attachments.
One of the guys has put all these discs out by the holes.
As you'll see, these discs will serve as the base for the posts. For my prior building in Carmel, that team used concrete cookies, which are very similar to this, only, a lot heavier, made out of concrete.
There's water down in the hole already.
I soon realized that this approach to drilling holes is working really well. I have wonderful visibility. I can see at least 2 of the 3 dimensions. The only challenge I have is seeing vertical front to rear. You almost always need a buddy to dig post holes anyway, so I just let him handle the front to back adjustments. He would just tell me if it needed adjustment. And these adjustments are trivial because they're hydraulic. I didn't have to move on the tracks, skid back and forth like on a skid steer, or try to turn or drive back and forth with a tractor. Nope, just simple hydraulic movements. So I have a challenge for you. Please take a moment to go to premierattach.com, look through their entire list of attachments, and let us know first which would be your favorite to have, and second, which would you most like to see on Tractor Time with Tim. I have a hunch that you'll see one there that, you think we need to try. It'll be interesting to see if you pick the same one that I spotted. I don't know when Christy shot down in this hole, but I hope I wasn't finished yet. If I was, the manual post hole digger had a lot of work to do.
He was perfect on cutting out the concrete from the basketball court.
Yeah, I had a bit of a panic when they started putting up the string. I was afraid that I had totally miscalculated. This one's right in the middle of the oldest part of the driveway. I was afraid it might cause us a little bit of a problem. The auger did hesitate a moment as I pushed down probably a little bit too hard, but then it went right on through. You'll be able to see up the right-hand side here where I've popped a couple of bolts out. Yeah, that was a user error on my part. This is a holder intended to keep the auger held inward for transport. During one of the early holes, I had the bucket curled too much, and thankfully the bolts broke before anything else got damaged. I found that this auger was cleaning very easily. At first I thought it was because I was digging in drier material, but no, we were hitting water. Christy said it was because I sprayed the auger with Pam.
Going back to the prior hole we dug, see if there's any water in it. Yep. This load came this morning
The team got here just after 11 a.m. They'd worked on another project first thing. And they had done all of the initial building layout, marked these post holes, and all of this drilling is still taking place before lunch. At least 2/3 of the holes done before 12:30. I would have still been scratching my head and remeasuring to make sure I had it square.
Amazingly enough, where we buried the internet cable goes right between two posts. It's pretty close to this hole here on the right, but it missed it. Now it's hard for me to tell where the internet came out at over here. But we still have internet, so we're good. They put one bag of concrete mix at every post hole.
Many commenters had said, why don't you just put that internet cable in conduit? Well, it would have been a waste of money. We had to put the post where we had to put the post, whether the cable was there or not. Anyway, I had to get a professional engineer to approve the second floor plans for a couple of reasons. We're doing a cantilever over the far end. I've shown you that in prior episodes. And we also have some heavy batteries going to sit on this end. So among other overkill, which we'll show you in later episodes, some of our posts have to be drilled in these 2-foot holes with bigger cookies. I already had this 2-foot auger, so I just attached it to the same Premier Attachments power unit, and yeah, it's a beast.
Wow.
It was about all this power unit wanted to handle, and when it was full like this, about all the excavator wanted to lift out of the ground. Still, this is fun to watch. I've got to hide this thing from Christy, otherwise I'm afraid she'll dig one of these holes and stuff me in it.
Oh boy.
I'll show what it is. There we go.
Folks, we're going to do our best to respect the young Amish men here that are part of this team, and we won't be showing their faces on camera. We will show them at a distance like this, but we do highly respect their lifestyle. While our views differ a lot in some details, it's clear that we share a common faith in Jesus Christ. Some of you have commented already, I'm certain, that you don't want to be putting the posts in the ground. Please don't put those posts in the ground. Well, to compensate for that, we're using these post protectors. We use these in our post frame building back in Carmel, and very happy with the results. Plenty room for opinion here. I like the looks of those concrete bases that our buildings uses, but I'm pretty sure these will still be doing fine when I no longer care about it. It only took a few minutes for them to stuff all these posts in the hole, and at that point I said, hey, I think there might be a barn here. Meanwhile, you can see a couple of them working on straightening and setting the posts on the other side of the building. I didn't look at my watch to see what time they got started on that portion of the project, but I can say that by 4:30, they had them all sticking straight up. Now, before they left, they gave us some homework. It's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow and maybe continue for the next 3 days. And unfortunately, that amateur post hole digger had just thrown the spoils, the dirt, right out on top of the pretty rock. So we're going to have to clean up after him and get rid of as much of that mud as possible. For Christy, this is nothing new. She's been cleaning up after me for most of her life now. This is a perfect job for a subcompact tractor. Could get right in there between those posts, but it's hard to fully separate the mud from the rocks. I really don't like mixing dirt and rocks. Think about it. Around here, topsoil is about $40 to $50 per cubic yard, plus delivery charge. Meanwhile, good, clean, crushed stone is at least $30 a yard delivered. Now take 1 yard of that topsoil and mix it evenly with 1 yard of that rock, and what you have is worse than worthless. And yes, I knew that as I was digging the holes, but I really hated to hold up the whole team with my peculiar sense of trying to keep dirt and rocks separated. There's the wash bay door area where Johnny 2 is, and then the big I-beam door is going to be over in that bigger hole. No doors along that side except for a walk-in door from the house, and then a 20-foot wide garage door on this end. So only 2 large doors plus the wash bay door to the outside. Thought maybe I could corral the dirt without getting as many rocks if I'd leave the front of my bucket up a little bit. Well, it didn't work at all. All it did was mash the remaining mud down under the bucket and into the rock. Funny thing is, God will take care of your mistakes sometimes. I was frustrated about having all this mixture here, and right as we were quitting, my neighbor came over, and he looked at that pile and he said, "I'll take all of that. I need it for some fill. It'll be perfect." A few trips back and forth with Johnny 5, delivering rock to his house, and now my pile is gone. This is just the beginning. Stick with us and we'll show you the entire process from start to finish. And we'd encourage you to go back and catch up on some of the planning episodes where we explain in great detail what we're doing and why we're doing it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. By the grace God has given me, I laid a foundation as a wise builder, and someone else is building on it. But each one should build with care, for no one can lay any foundation other than the one already laid, which is Jesus Christ.
Cute little kitty. Yes, you are.